Hey, good evening, everybody, or good afternoon. It's Jason with JER Custom Designs. I wanted to do a little live demo with the new rotary and kind of go over some of the details. Hopefully, I don't get booted. Or not booted, but hopefully hopefully I don't lose my internet connection again. I'll put it that way. So what I have here is I just have a test cup that I'm going to be doing my logo on personally. I've got all the settings dialed in, um, and I feel pretty confident that it will turn out the way it should. It may not look very good on the piece of paper or on the tape that's on there, but until I make sure I got everything dialed in, I'm not going to waste any cups. So a little bit about this rotary I'll get into after this engraving is done, and we'll go from there. This is running on Boss 3655 machine. It is run by Lightburn, and we'll see how it turns out. Sorry about that. All right. So now that we got that done, and looks really good. I don't know if you can tell from where you're at, but it came out pretty good. And I've already checked to see what the I call it a placement test, but I've already checked to see where the scaling is, and everything's to scale. This rotary in particular, the way it is set up right now, is running at 6,800 pulse rotation or circle pulse, and then 38 on the diameter, and that gets you your settings, your ideal settings. So a little bit about this rotary. Let me get into here. All right, so the way it's set up right now is it's set up. I'm running the tumblers. I'm trying to find my bottles here, but if you know, with using the old rotary, the bottles didn't tended not to be very easy to do, or you had to flip them around in order to engrave them. With this rotary, that's a thing of the past. Now you will have to adjust your circle pulse in order to do it, but you'll have to tweak that to where you need it. And mine, I think it was down to like 2,500 in order to fit. But anyways, so we got the tumbler out of the way. So as you see, this is how it comes as the stock unit. So you have your clamp, your heel plate back here. Both of these are easily removed. Just got 2 screws that hold them in. Haven't quite decided if we're just going to go with the single screw or not. But if I change it, then you'll see it. If not, then it'll stay the way it is. Pretty easy to take off with a 3mm wrench. And this here, you can just take off your actual clamp arm, and you can still use the front of this as a standoff for your material, whatever you're engraving. Now the mug attachment that some of you guys have purchased for the Boss Rotary will also fit this. This piece here will come with a little wings off to the side. On the other side that the mug attachment will fit onto, and allow you to push this forward and do mugs without hitting anything below. The one thing I'm working through right now is the stepper motor, which is directly below the wheels. So the problem I'm having with that is more than likely I'm going to have to reposition it. Not really more than likely. It's a definite. So and trying to cut down on the weight of this thing is drastically unavoidable, I guess you could say. For a cheap China laser or a K40 or something like that, this will be fine because this is a 2-phase motor. Boss motors run on 3 phases, and I'm running it on a 2-phase motor right now, and that's part of the reason why it's getting so hot. But let me get this out of the way and shut this off. The temperature on the stepper motor maintains around 60 degrees C, which is hot. And I want to avoid that. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to compromise the lightweight structure that I've created for the stepper motor that it needs, because you don't want to run a 2-phase stepper on a 3-phase system. It's not that it's going to hurt it so much, because it works just fine. But the longevity of the motor and everything is drastically altered. So that will be something that's fixed and figured out before the release in December. The first kits ordered, which will be the pre-order, I will drop a link on the 15th, which is 3 days away. So on Tuesday, I will post a link for the pre-orders. I'm going to do a limited run at the pre-order price, and then after that, they'll go to retail price. If you buy multiples, if you have multiple machines, you need multiple rotaries, just contact me first, and we can work out a deal for quantity. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and kind of go over some of the features. I'm not going to go into great detail because on the 15th I'll have another whole spiel come out about that, and I'll be able to better explain things. All right, so what makes this unique? Well, that's what I've been getting a lot on messages and stuff like that. Well, obviously a rotor is a rotor. The I don't know. I don't even know if it's shared out. Hold on, wait, give me a second. I want to make sure that this is actually going out to people. Oh, it's going out. Okay. Um, there's not seeing anybody hop on. That's all right. But okay, so what makes this different? You know, obviously a rotary is a rotary. It's a set of wheels on either side with a drive on one side and slave wheels on the other side that turn and allow you to engrave a cylindrical object. Okay, so no big secret there. It's what it is. Um, so what sets mine apart is what I've done is I've addressed several issues. One of which, like I discussed, is unavoidably not doable at this time, which is try to keep a nice low profile and lightweight rotary. Um, I'm still going to try to keep it as lightweight as I can, but like I said, things have to change in order to put this motor on here that I don't really want to put on here. So, anyways, so it's all run on sealed ball bearings on all axes or all wheels. The motor, which there are a couple rotaries out there that have a motor that goes up and down, but this one goes up about 70 millimeters is the total travel. So it gives you a lot of flexibility with what you're doing. Whereas before, if you had an object that was smaller in the front, bigger in the back, in order to engrave it, you had to flip it around so you could jack it up and down off of the slave wheels. Well, in this case, like I'm going to use a bottle for instance. Okay, everything's on lead screws, and there's a knob on the left hand side, but I find it easier just to use my thumb and fingers to rotate the unit. But anyways, so we'll pretend. Let me get this out of the way real quick. So now that's out of the way. All right. So I'm gonna come up with a different way to do that eventually. But anyways, so now you have your bottle, right? Your bottle's sitting on there. Now you have the luxury of raising and lowering each side independently, so you can get it level. You can go up, down, up, down. So now those odd-shaped objects are no longer an issue, because you can now level with your motor side. So you don't have to flip things around. So if you have the bottle clamp that goes with this, then you can actually use it on here and have it work. Let me grab one and just see if I can show you. All right. So here's the bottle clamp. Alright, so there's your bottle clamp. I'm not going to put the spring in it. I mean, I could. I'll go ahead and put the spring in it. Alright. There's that. Stick your bottle in, put your clamp down. Now your bottle's held in place. And again, this is usable. It's the same setup as the Boss Rotary with this clamp to hold your bottles in place. So it's easily put on and taken off, just the same as on the Boss Rotary. So then, you can spin it freely. And you don't have to worry about your bottle slipping. So that's another nicety about it is everything that you've used before or you've gotten for the Boss you can use on here except for like the platform for the Rotary. If you notice here, there's the gap here is going to be about 1.5 inches shorter, so it'll fit nicely onto these crossbars. If you don't have the crossbars, then it really doesn't matter. You just set it in the bottom of the pan, you're good to go. Don't have to worry about it. Because as I've found out, some machines didn't come with those crossbars installed, so I don't know what the reasoning is behind it, but it's just not there. So, at any rate, and then I have to make a modification to this, so this doesn't come down so far and hit the wheels, because it will bind the wheels and cause the belt to slip. And like I said, on the back side here, it's got a adjustment knob that you can leave on or take off. It doesn't matter. Or you can just use your fingers to rotate the screw. The reason I went with the screws is because, like everything else on the market, everything is you raise and lower it by hand, and you use thumb screws to hold it in place. Well, that wasn't good enough for me, so I used lead screws with anti-backlash springs to prevent them from dropping, so you can put pressure on it and they're not just going to fall. So basically they lock themselves in place. The finished Rotary and the production ready Rotary is going to have 2 holes and a supplied thumb screw for one of the holes on each side. The other hole is a backup, to where you can actually use it and tighten it down if you want to do so, or if you're engraving a significantly heavier object, you can do it as a backup just in case, to prevent it from slipping. But other than that, like I said, more details and some of the same are going to come out, and in a video on the 15th that I'm going to release with the pre-sale code and everything. So stay tuned. Check out my page that you're already on now. Follow it, like it if you haven't already. Laser Me This. There's a group. The one with the 2 flasks has the main picture. That's the group. The other one's a page, and you won't get anywhere on the page. So join the group, and we'll hope to see you there. We'll come out with some new stuff, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, hope everybody has a good rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you next time, and we'll see you on the 15th. All right, everybody, take care, and as always, laser like a boss.